Hello, good evening Tribuners. Welcome back with me Mutiara in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here the complete news. The first news comes from Palembang. Beloved motorbike is pounded. A man cancels his marriage and runs away. Palembang residents were shocked by the viral story of a girl named Dinda who canceled her marriage on the D-Day. The groom with the initial age 17 fled to Bandung, leaving his future wife because of sulking. Dinda's family suspect that AH's reckless action was triggered by anger because her parents didn't accept her favorite motorcycle to be pounded for additional costs for her wedding with Dinda. The frustration was then conveyed by H to Dinda via WhatsApp message. It wasn't enough. After conveying his frustration, AH also blocked Dinda's contact. Previously, Dinda Hairulita, a 16-year-old bride, couldn't only give up when she was forced to sit alone on the wedding stage because the invitation for the event had already been distributed. Rapita Sari, Dinda's mother, expressed her pain over AH's action. Actually, Dinda's family already knew that AH would not come to the wedding that had been planned in advance. Exactly one day before the event took place, or to be precise on Saturday, the 20th of May 2022, Dinda's family received news that AH had left to the Bandung area. This information was obtained from a friend of AH. After family deliberation, it was finally agreed that the event would still be held the next day. Because 200 invitations had already been distributed, so the family considered it impossible to cancel the event. The next news comes from Bogor. A pregnant woman survives a landslide. Mata Fitri is 32 years old, a victim of a landslide in Pasir Pogor Village, Cijeruk District, Bogor Regency, still swollen and red. Her left arm is also still bruised. Likewise, the lady has a few minor injuries. The woman, who is now 8 months pregnant, is sitting limply at a relative's house in Pasir Pogor Village, Cipelang Village, Cijeruk District, Bogor Regency. She seems steadfast in receiving condolences from neighbors and friends who kept coming on Sunday, May 22, 2022 in the afternoon. To wartakotalive.com, she recalled the moments before a landslide destroyed her house and made her husband have to die. Although she and her 3 children survived, but luck befell Fitri's husband and 3 other members of her family. Dudu, Fitri's husband, along with her mother-in-law as well as her sister-in-law Neng and Neng's son Nafis, died in this incident. Fitri hopes to get help from the government to rebuild her destroyed house. Fitri also hopes that the owner of the villa whose sheet pile collapsed is responsible for providing compensation. Currently, the bodies of the 4 victims are at the Kramat Jati Police Hospital for an autopsy. The next news is 3 kitchens of Nunukan residents' houses collapsed. As a result of heavy rain last night, 3 kitchens of the Nunukan residents' houses, which are located on a steep cliff, experienced a landslide of up to 20 meters on Saturday, May 21, 2022 at approximately 11:30 p.m. The landslide occurred on Pongtiku Road in the 19th neighborhood Central Nunukan Village, Nunukan Regency, North Kalimantan. The head of the Nunukan Regional Disaster Management Agency, Arif Budiman, said that of the 3 permanent construct houses, only one was badly damaged in the kitchen. It is known that lately it has been raining heavily from night to early morning. According to Arif, the areas of Pongti Kurut and Sayyid Fatimah are prone to landslides. The reason is many houses are built on steep cliffs, not to mention, said Arif, that the soil structure of the building that experienced the landslide last night was sandy. Arif said there were no casualties from the landslide. The Nunukan Regional Disaster Management Agency, said Arif, will provide gabions of wire to families whose houses have experienced its landslide. Not only that, for the time being, the Nunukan Social Service will provide tarpaulin assistance to cover the steep cliff. The next news is, a bus has an accident, dozens of people become victims. Dozens of people become victims in a bus accident in Ciamis, West Java on Saturday, May 21, 2022. One of the victims of the accident was Agus Sukamto, 51 years old, a resident of Sukamulia District, Bogor Regency, Banten. Agus explained that the pilgrim bus had an accident in Ciamis at that time. At the time, he and other residents of Sukamulia District wanted to make a pilgrimage. The group's goal was to go to a number of areas in West Java using a tourism bus. Agus brought his wife, 2 children and in-laws in the group. They stayed in the second row of the bus. On the way, the bus must pass through Payung Sari Highway, which is quite steep. The driver suddenly could not control the bus while on the route. The driver panicked while saying takbir, whereas previously the bus had been checked for its condition. After the incident, Agus said the handling at the accident site was slow. Sometime later, the authorities handled the accident, including evacuating the pilgrims. The next news is, an overturned dump truck result in fatalities. There has been a single accident in Rabah Village, Wajakea Jaya Village, Dinda District, and the Regency on Sunday, the 22nd of May 2022 in the afternoon. A dump truck car without a police number overturned in front of a resident's house in Kampung Ramba. The car carried 14 people. As a result of the accident, 2 people died and 12 others were injured. The head of the Dinda Reserve Police Grand Commissioner Adjutant Andre Librian, took the head of the Dinda Reserve Police Traffic Unit, Second Police Inspector Komang Astina, confirmed by TribunFlores.com, confirmed the incident. He explained that his party had conducted a crime scene investigation. Meanwhile, the injured victims are being treated at the Dinda Regional General Hospital. Meanwhile, Sudirman, a resident of the village, as the owner of the house, told TribunFlores.com at the scene, explaining that among the victims there was a 3-year-old toddler and a 6-month-old baby. Sudirman himself admitted that he was concerned about the accident. He also hopes that the dump truck car will be evacuated as soon as possible so that they can run smoothly. The next news comes from Makassar. A car and motorcycle showroom caught fire. Car and motorbike showroom UD Samarjaya Motor Tengku Umarten number 48 Street, Kaluku Bodoa Village, Talo District, Makassar City, got fire on Sunday, May 22, 2022. The Red Champion set fire to 4 cars and 40 motorbikes. The loss is estimated at around 2 billion rupiah. UD Sumarjaya Motor is in the business of buying and selling used and new cars and motorbikes. The showroom occupies a 3-story shop house. The owner of UD Sumarjaya Motor, Sudarman, said that of the 40 motorbikes that caught fire, 14 of them were carried, leaving the frame and engine. 4 cars Toyota Alphard and Honda HR-V were burned, while the Honda Brio and Honda CR-V were still parked out of the showroom, but some parts of the car caught fire. While the Honda Brio and Honda CR-V were still parked out of the showroom, but some parts of the car caught fire when he came home from prayer. At around 10 minutes to 1 p.m., he saw smoke coming from inside his house. Sudirman was surprised when he opened the door the fire had grown. He still had time to open the door and pass the Honda Brio and CR-V out. Sudirman's wife Mardalia said that the second and third floors of the showroom are where his family lives. There is a living room and bedroom, while the ground floor for the business of buying and selling motorcycles and cars. At around 1 o'clock p.m., 13 firefighting units with 40 personnel arrived at the location. 9 units from the Makassar Fire Service Mako, Ratulangi route and 4 from the Ujung Tanah Karester. The fire was extinguished before spreading to other houses. The last uses. Kapuas Hulu District Personnel and Human Resources Development Agency Office fire. There was a fire at the office of the Personnel and Human Resources Development Agency of Kapuas Hulu Regency on Sunday, May 22, 2022 at around 4 o'clock p.m. The office of the Agency for Personnel and Human Resources Development in Kapuas Hulu is located not far from the office of the Secretary of the Kapuas Hulu area or within the office of the region Kapuas Hulu Regency, but until now, the cause of the fire is unknown. Implementation of Jates, head of the Agency for Personnel and Human Resources Development of Kapuas Hulu Regency, Sudarso, stated that the cause of the office fire was not yet known. Regarding the archives at the Kapuas Hulu BKPSD in office, Sudarso explained that so far, based on data, there are 8,013 employee data files in Kapuas Hulu Regency government. Sudarso explained that actually, tomorrow morning, on Monday, May 23, 2022, SKCPNS will be distributed, but when there is a fire, his party will temporarily hand over the SK in the form of a draft. Well, I think that's all the news for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.